Well, the new regulations needed to sort out the mess that was created by the illegal transition from the final salary to the career average scheme, have now been published and are about to go through Parliament. So I'm going to walk you through what part of this means for you. I'm going to look at just at the choices you're going to be given. There's lots of other stuff. There's a lot of other stuff in the protection about going back and changing opted-out service, being able to buy additional pension. But I'm just going to look at the moment for the choices that you're going to be given. On your account page on the TPS website, you may have noticed this link that lets you know if you're one of those who is affected. That is, if you are one of those who was moved illegally from the final salary to the career average schemes. If you don't see this, then there's a good chance that you were moved legally, or you were never in the final salary scheme. For instance, if you started after 2015. If you did that, then you were legally started in the career average scheme at that time. So this transitional protection doesn't apply to you. If you click that link at the bottom, it will take you to a page with a bit more information on it. And there's some key parts on here that I want to look at. The first key part is here. When you decide to take your benefits, you are going to be given a choice. And you get to see which choice is best for you. You don't get to choose that until you come to retire, which is great, because at that point you will be told how much it's worth under both options. You don't have to choose now and worry that you've chosen the wrong one in 5, 10, 15 years into the future when you come to retire. You choose when you retire. So what is the choice? Well, it all hinges around this period between 2015 and 2022. And when teachers were moved from the final salary into the career average. It means that the only choice is about which scheme this period gets counted in. You can choose to have started your career average scheme on the 1st of April 2015, or you can have started it on the 1st of April 2022. Those are the only two choices you're going to be given. Now, from October, the pension statements are going to start showing how much you would get for each of those two choices. And we have a small indication of how this may look based on some of the case studies that the TPS have produced. Now, I do not like these case studies because I think they've been chosen to really overemphasize the value of the career average choice over the final salary choice. But that's another argument, and I've spoken to TPS about this, and they have produced a few more that are a little bit more realistic, but they did say that they picked these to pick typical people. But if you think a typical person whose normal pension age is 60 is going to work on to 65 without taking their first pension, you've got a different idea from TPS about what is normal. More like I've got the idea. They were certainly slanted to favour career average. Anyway, that's not the point. The key focus here is this difference, this different part in the middle here, part B, that covers the remedy period. And it's the choice you're going to make for this. So it's going to be laid out fairly simply. But do watch out. There is something to consider, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Looking at these figures, you can see that taking choice 1, the final salary scheme there at the top, will add about £3,329 to your pension and give you a lump sum of just under £10,000. But taking the other choice gives you a slightly higher annual pension. Well, I say slightly, £1,400 a year more, but with no lump sum. So at the point you come to retire, you'd get these two options, and then you would choose whichever works the best for you. You don't make that choice, again, as I said, until you come to retire. So you should always be able to make the best choice. You shouldn't be able to make the wrong choice. So why did I say you need to watch out? Well, we have a saying that make sure you compare apples with apples. And this applies to the figures provided on these case studies, and presumably, therefore, what you're going to be provided on your new statements. That 1,400 more in choice 2 looks to be the best option. After all, it only takes about 7 years then to make up for that lump sum that you've been given. But that isn't comparing apples with apples. It's not a like-for-like comparison. The final salary scheme comes with a normal pension age of 60. Compared to a normal pension age in the career average scheme of somewhere between 66 and 68, depending on how old you are now. And if you take that career average pension at 60, this figure is going to be reduced because you're taking it early. Taking it early means you get 69.9% of it if you take it at the age of 60. And that brings that 4,700 figure down to £3,325, less than the career average one. So when you come to claim your pension, don't get carried away by that larger number. Make sure you're comparing apples with apples, that you're looking at a like-for-like comparison, how much you will get at the age that you're taking it. The bottom line then is that you don't have to choose until you retire, at which point you will be given the figures in pounds and pence for how much you would get under both choices. Just make sure that those figures are for you taking it at the age you want to take it, and therefore you're comparing like with like. Thank you.